Hi, everyone. Welcome to Member Minute. I'm here with Lauren Reed, who is the newly appointed CEO of MHEDA. We're so excited. How are you, Lauren?
Hi, Katie. I'm great. Thank you for inviting me onto the podcast. And I'm not only happy to be here on the podcast, but so grateful and excited to join MHEDA and lead us into the future.
I have full confidence in that. And it's so timely because I know we're in about your first month or so here as the new CEO. But you've been a MHEDA member twice with two separate companies. I'm not sure if everyone realizes all the history of what you know about MHEDA, what you know about as a member. And so I'm excited to do this today. Um, Before we
Great.
get there, I just have to bring up because I think it's a really fun, cool fact that maybe not everyone would know. But your first job before, I mean, I think when you were still in high school, was working at a music store. So tell me about working at a music store.
Yes. So I actually think it was the summer going into high school because I worked under the table starting at age 13 in the summers. It wasn't child labor, but I worked for a mom and pop music store and I cleaned band instruments. And I worked there, I think, for 5 or 6 years and started working for my brother. And then I started leading our band department, our band rental department, where I got to stop cleaning gross instruments and start helping parents that were trying to rent so that their kids could enjoy music and learn different musical instruments. And yeah, it was a really fun job. And I still love music today. I actually play trombone. I haven't in a while, so if my mom sees this, she'll be devastated to hear that. But I also play piano, and I just love music and love going to shows and watching musicians do what they do.
That's such a cool fact. I love knowing that you're musically inclined. I'm also not at all surprised to hear that you worked at 13 because ever since I've known you, which I think we were talking about it earlier, maybe 2017, 2018, you have an amazing work ethic and it's something that I admire and I know others do. So I'm not surprised at all that at 13 you were
Oh, thank
hustling.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Now you've been in the industry for a while, but tell me, what was your first job getting into material handling?
So my first job was actually working for a MHEDA member. So I went to work for a company called Concept, and Concept specializes in material handling and supply chain organizations and helping them to develop new business, to market, and to provide CRM resources. So when I first started there, I was a cold caller, and I'd never done that before, but I thought, hey, I like to talk and I'm pretty outgoing, so I'll give it a go. And so I started working for two forklift dealerships on different sides of the country. And I looked for new business opportunities for those dealerships and then ultimately would set up an appointment for a salesperson to go really sit down, not drop off information, but really sit down and get to know if there was a business opportunity there.
Yeah. So, cold calling, tell me a little bit about the history. Because I think when I had first met you, you did a presentation for MHEDA members at a regional networking summit, and it was all about like unlocking the power of your CRM. And so I can imagine the history at Concept. It went beyond even cold calling. So tell me about the history there.
Definitely did. So I was at Concept for quite a while, just about 8 years. And I am so lucky to have had a bazillion different opportunities at Concept, and it just really grew organically. So I went from being a cold caller to starting to manage cold callers that were also calling within the material handling industry. And then I started working with our clients on, okay, now what is the actual strategy that we're taking to unlock these new business opportunities, and how are we going to increase share of wallet from our current customers, and how are we going to align with marketing messaging? And that world of business development, sales, and marketing is just where I really found my home and where I gained a lot of experience at Concept. And the great thing about working in that environment, especially that I can call upon today, that experience is having worked with so many different companies in the industry. So from a
Mhm.
small mom and pop dealer that might be really focused on service and they happen to sell forklifts all the way up to, multi-billion dollar entities that are either OEMs or mega dealers. I found it really exciting to be able to pull back the curtain and learn about those businesses. And what I also found to be pretty rewarding is that all of them, for the most part, were faced with the same challenges. So it might be, that there were varying levels of severity that those challenges were affecting their business. But it started to kind of build my own confidence as a professional to know that I could help everyone that I was working with. So I held a few other roles at Concept, but I spoke about CRM mainly because I'm not a tech gal and I don't speak that language. I speak the layman's language of CRM and technology. And so it kind of helped bridge a gap for a lot of MHEDA members to not look at CRM as a software, but to look at it as really a business tool and a tool that would drive growth. So ultimately, I went on to sell for Concept and work on key accounts and helping them from that strategic perspective. But I'm super grateful for that experience. So thank you, Concept.
Yeah, thank you, Concept. And I mean, you actually got us getting involved with Concept and using Concept. And uh, back in the day, you were key in helping bridge that gap. And, now having you on the MHEDA team internally, oh my gosh, we really want help bridging that gap. And so it's just the level of experience you bring from the sales side to the marketing side and the business development side is something that I think we all could really be learning and taking advantage of. And
Thank
it's
you.
it's kind of cool to hear, you really worked with MHEDA members, but then after Concept was more that you got to work at a MHEDA member within the industry. So
That's
tell me
right.
what led to that and tell me about your or your job that you had after Concept.
Yeah, so Concept definitely helped lead into that next point in my career, but Mojito was a huge driver of it as well. So I'd been a member for years. I had been really active in Mojito Net groups, to events, to emerging leaders, which is now next gen, and I just learned so much, and I made so many amazing contacts within the industry that really just helped guide me as to what I wanted to do next. And so I was really interested in jumping over into in the systems integration world and the automation world. I felt like, hey, this is what I know the least about in terms of the actual solutions themselves. But this is a massive part of how our industry is growing and changing and evolving. So I had the opportunity to go work for Storage Solutions. And at Storage Solutions, I came in as the first kind of business development minded individual and built a team there about a year. And I joined the executive team and went on to lead a few other groups. And we went through some changes where we acquired businesses, and then we were acquired by a large entity, Young Heinrich. And so I just felt that every moment at Storage Solutions was just like Concept, where I just kept getting more and more opportunity and got to broaden my horizons a bit. So really tough decision to leave both of those companies because I would love to still be helping people in the way I did there. But this opportunity to come to MHEDA was just a natural, really perfect fit for me. And I just couldn't be more grateful for the chance to join and to lead us into the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is I mean, as we know, Mahita's team is small and everyone brings a certain skill set. And for the most part, not everybody has the same skill set. And we need your skill set right now. Mahita started in 1954. There's 100 more, well, no, 70. There's 70 more. There's more than 70. There's more business to be had. And so I think the only way we can do that is with some really strong business development, sales type of marketing background. And we're grateful to have you. And
Well, I'm happy to be here, and I really care so deeply about MHEDA. I've made a lot of personal friends and mentors through MHEDA. I have really enjoyed mentoring some people that are early in their tenure, early in their career. And MHEDA has just brought quite a lot of value to my life, not only from a business perspective, but from that personal perspective as well. And as everybody knows, like sure, work-life balance conceptually is a thing. And I do strive to have some of that. But when you get to mix work and personal life when it comes to relationships, that's really special, and it's a lot more realistic than keeping them separate as well. So I've enjoyed
mhm.
just kind of allowing that for being in Mahia to help fill both parts of my life.
Yeah, yeah. No, I that's helpful to hear. And I think, the thing we crave the most too is that member experience and that member's perspective. So having you, who's now been a member on in two different types of members, a distributor and a associate member. And so it's just really helpful to have you on the team and to know that we have that perspective coming in.
Well, thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So when you were at Storage Solutions, you were at Storage Solutions for 4 years, I believe.
Just under four. Yep.
Um, okay, so what would you say that you learned about yourself at Storage Solutions?
That's a great question. Well, I was challenged a lot and learned a lot. I think, in addition to just gaining better perspective on leadership and change management, I also think that I learned just to kind of go for it and to dream big, and that if you kind of hinder yourself from being creative and trying to innovate too early on in that process, then you'll never have the opportunity to really grow or help your business grow and change. And so there are a couple of mentors that I had at Store Solutions that really challenged me to dream big, ask for the world, and then pare it back to reality as time goes on. And so I'm really excited to bring that mentality here to MHEDA. Of course, we need our resources that we provide our membership to be practical and impactful. But that doesn't mean that we also can't change and evolve and have fun while doing it. And so I really got to experience that at Storage Solutions, and I'm excited to bring that mentality here to MHEDA. And I think there's a lot of like-minded people on our team and a lot of like-minded people in our membership as well.
Oh yeah, everyone's going to be so happy. Everyone listening to this, everyone hearing that you dream big. And I mean, I already know that about you personally, but to bring that to Mahida, um, why not dream big? Ask for the world and then figure it out from there. I love that.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you think was the best advice that you ever received?
I don't have a quote that necessarily sticks out to me, but I think the best advice that I received through many people is just to build a super strong network, and that you never know what will come from the person sitting next to you, and to get out of your comfort zone and strike up a conversation. Don't do the typical boilerplate, how are you, weather talk. Ask them a challenging question, excuse me, ask them the best part of their day or their week or the conference that you're at, and have a real, genuine and vulnerable conversation. And every time I've done that, personally, I've never been in a situation where it's come back to bite me. It's only helped me and or helped the business that I've been supporting. And so that I think that's the best advice, and that's the best advice I could give to our members or to anybody listening is, yes, there are many facets of MHEDA, from education to networking to just challenging ourselves when it comes to benchmarking and data and all these different functions. But your network can fuel everything. And that is just kind of my core belief. And I know it's something that most of our MHEDA members, if not all of them, see a ton of value in.
Yeah, no, that's right in line with why we exist, why members have stayed for so long and they continue to invest and be part of Mahida. It's something I think that you could, that's personal advice, that's business advice. It's, I like what you said too about having genuine conversations. Nobody does want to talk about the weather, and think about how many people talk about, oh, they don't like small talk. Well, what if you don't make it small? What if you make it like
Exactly.
medium or big? And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So we're all very excited for you to be at Mahida. Every single one of us. It's like it's great news. What are you most excited about what are you most excited about regarding Mahida and what you're going to bring to the table?
Yeah. Well, first off, I'll say I'm really excited to follow two really great leaders. And so, I've had a relationship with Liz for a long time, and Liz really opened my eyes to, again, networking and building relationships and what it means to keep up with a relationship. And I think for people that are just coming into a world where they might be networking and meeting people outside of their company, it takes work, and in that then it becomes natural, right? So you get to meet somebody at an event, and then you might follow up on LinkedIn. And then if you never talk to them again before the next event, you're missing out. And so Liz really taught me that, in addition to a bazillion other, um, other things related to leadership. And then most recently, of course, I got to follow Jeanette, and Jeanette is a great professional in her own right, and she's led amazing teams and has been challenged with tremendous business growth, and is someone that really has a ton of industry experience. And Jeanette's also brought a lot of great foundational things to MHEDA that we needed in terms of process and helping our members gain access to us easier, and to ensure that the message is really getting out there about what we can do to support our membership. So first, let me say I'm super grateful to follow in the line of two women that have made a big impact. And I think what I'm most excited about is just ensuring that our membership feels that they're heard, and feels that we build our resources, and we build our tools and our talks and speakers and networking events all based off of the feedback and or needs of our members. And we're also going to challenge what's on the horizon. And I think, there's a lot of thought leadership to be had within this MHEDA network that we can really drive our industry forward. So like I said earlier, I'm ready to dream big. I'm ready to look at our business communities in a different way to ensure that we're bringing really valuable content to each sector of our industry. I'm excited about Next Gen, and building upon the Emerging Leaders Conference that's been a mainstay of MHEDA for a long time, and just helping inspire this next generation of leadership, whether you're 22 out of school or you're in your 40s and you're taking on a lot more responsibility than you'd previously had. And then obviously I'd be remiss. I'm a women in industry fan and supporter. And so I'm just excited to push the envelope there in terms of being really focused on advancing our skills, and to again advancing our industry forward. So I could go on all day, and thank God I'm in this position, because I do. But there's a lot of opportunity to be had. We have a really bright future ahead of us as a membership, as an association, and as an industry. We really do.
Yeah, no, that the way you explain that is makes perfect sense. I mean, what Liz did with MHEDA and brought it to where it was, and I think everyone has always felt so comfortable to approach her, and that really set the stage for MHEDA. And then we have Jeanette, who built these processes that if MHEDA didn't start getting involved in that, we need some of those foundational processes to really grow. And I think it's just was a perfect like pairing, or they complemented each other so well. And
Mhm.
then now we've got Lauren. And I think that both of those things are only working in your favor and in the team's favor. And so we can dream big now, that we have processes in place to allow us to dream bigger. And yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of the members already know you, and just naturally you're super fun to talk to and approachable. So I mean, I can't wait to see what we can do together. It's
Yeah,
very
I can't wait to
exciting.
get out there. I've been on the road for several weeks now since onboarding, and I was so happy just to be thrown into situations with our membership. And
Yeah.
of course, I've enjoyed spending time with our team. Don't get me wrong. We have lots of time that we'll spend together moving forward. But it's really important that I hear from our members and I have relationships with our members. And I just encourage anybody listening to reach out to me, say hi to me at an event. I will chat you up. I'm going to ask you a bazillion questions about how we can better serve you. And I want to be accessible to everyone within our membership, whether you're brand new or you've been a member and a professional far longer than I have. And I think we can all learn from each other. And that's a beautiful thing in MHEDA, and in life. And anything that we can do to not necessarily capitalize on it, but capitalize on it from a value perspective for, again, ourselves and our businesses is just so important.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna put all your info in the comments here so people can reach
Okay.
you. But where will people see you next? What's our first MHEDA event that somebody will get to see you at next?
Well, I'm headed to a board meeting here in a day or two, but that is a much smaller group. But I'm really excited to lead my first meeting with our dedicated board and our diverse board too. And I'm sure it's going to be a really productive few days. But the first, I guess, event that you'll see me at is in just a few weeks is our rental and use conference in Atlanta. And so that's Thursday, the 23rd of October. And we also are having a next gen meetup there in Atlanta as well. And then our automation solutions conference. And so it'll be a really great few days because we get to cover some really broad topics in terms of both of those business communities and then also with next gen. And we've got really excellent speakers that we've brought to the table as well. So sounds like we've really hit the ground running in terms of getting a lot of folks to join us at those sessions. So if you're on the fence, please either reach out to me, reach out to a member of our team to learn more. And we certainly want you to join us there.
Excellent. Well, I know we'll have a good time. I know all the members will too. And we're excited to see what all the things that you're going to do. Thank you so much for joining me and doing this. And I guess we'll talk soon.
Sounds great. Thanks, Katie. Thanks for having me.